So this will be our tutorial class, and today we will look at the design of stirrups for nominal shear. This is our 11th tutorial in this video lecture series on design of reinforced concrete structures and the first tutorial class for the design of shear. So here I have made a flowchart which you can see on the right hand side of your screen for the design of shear reinforcement. Let's ignore this flowchart for today and let's just focus on the problem. We are asked to design shear reinforced for a beam, and we are given some information regarding the breadth of the beam, its effective depth, the factored shear force acting on the beam, the characteristic strength of beam material, that is concrete, the strength or the grade of reinforcement bars that are used, and then the percentage of longitudinal steel reinforcement. So as our title suggests, we are only designing the stirrups for nominal shear. However, when you are presented with a problem, you have to check whether you have to design for nominal shear or you have to design for certain value of shear force that is coming onto your structure. So we will proceed as follows for now. In the first step, let us calculate the nominal shear stress that is acting on our beam here. We are already given with the factored shear force and the dimensions of our beam. So the value of nominal shear stress, which is given as tau v, is determined by dividing the factored shear force by the product of V and D. So Vu we have 125 kilonewton, that is 125 into 10 to the power 3 Newton divided by 350 multiplied with 550. You will get the value of tau v to be 0.65 Newton per mm square. Now we are given with the characteristic strength of concrete is 25 Newton per mm square. As we discussed in our previous lecture, if you go to your code and look at table 20 of IS 456-2000, you will be presented in that table with the value of the maximum shear stress that is available for your section, and this maximum shear stress is dependent on the grade of concrete that we are using. Since we are using M25 concrete here, from table 20 you can get the value of the maximum value of shear stress. Tau C max is 3.1 Newton per mm square for M25 concrete. Now the first thing that we have to do is compare the value of tau v and tau C max. If the value of tau v is greater than tau C max, then our section is inadequate, and then there are two options for us, either to increase the grade of concrete or to change the dimensions of beam. But since we have here tau v value is less than the value of maximum shear stress that is can be resisted by our concrete section, we can say that our concrete section is adequate. Now another thing to determine is the shear strength that is provided by the concrete. This is the maximum theoretical shear stress that may come onto your concrete, but now we have to calculate the shear strength that is provided by the concrete, and that shear strength is based on two factors. One again is the grade of concrete and another is the percentage of steel reinforcement. And that shear strength is represented as tau C. And to determine this tau C, we have to go to table 19 of IS 456-2000. This also we have discussed in our previous theoretical class. Now if you go to this table there for M25 concrete, which we are using currently, you can see that different values are given for different values of PT. PT is the longitudinal reinforcement ratio or percentage, and value of tau c is given. So one you have for 1.50 PT, the value of tau c is given as 0.74, and for 1.75 the value is given as 0.78. But currently our percentage of steel is 1.67, which lies between these two values. So we have to perform linear interpolation and find the value of tau c, that is the shear strength provided by the concrete for 1.67. So how do we perform the linear interpolation? Let us consider this factor as x and this is y. This is x2 and y2 and x1 and y1. So to perform linear interpolation, now you have to determine the value of y. The value of y is given as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, x minus x1 plus y1. So substitute all these values and then you will get the value of y as 0.7672 Newton per mm square, which obviously should lie between these two values 0.74 and 0.78, and as we can see, this obviously lies between these two values. So this we get the value of tau c, that is the design shear strength that is provided by the concrete. Now let's compare the relationship between these three things here. One is the tau v, which is 0.65, another is tau c max, which is 3.1, and another is tau c. You can see that the value of tau v is the lowest, tau v is less than tau c, and this tau c is less than tau c max. So this is our relation here. Now why we are denoting the title of this class, or why we are taking the title of this class as nominal shear, is that it is due to this first main part here. Tau v is less than tau c. That means the shear strength that is provided by the concrete is actually greater than the shear stress that is coming onto our structure here. If this shear stress that is coming onto the structure were larger, then what you have to do is you have to find the additional value of shear force that had to be resisted by the shear reinforcement, excluding this shear strength provided by the concrete. So remember here, if tau c is larger, then all the shear force or all the shear stresses that is coming onto your structure is capable, or the concrete is capable to resist all the shear stresses. But when the nominal shear stress is greater, then some part of the shear stress will be resisted by the concrete, and for the remaining part you have to design for shear reinforcement. Since here our value of tau v is less, that is the actual value of shear stress that we calculated from the loads acting on our structure is lesser than the shear strength provided by the concrete, we only have to provide the nominal shear reinforcement. Also, if you remember, we discussed one thing in our previous lecture. We said that in clause 26.5.1.6 we had a condition that we had to design for nominal shear reinforcement when tau v is greater than 1/2 tau c. Now obviously we can see that the value of tau v is obviously greater than half of tau c. So in this case also we have to design for nominal shear. Now to design for nominal shear, we have the formula given as ASV over B into SV equals to 0.4 upon 0.87 Fy. This is given in the same code here. So ASV is the area of reinforcement that is resisting the shear. Okay, let us suppose that we are using vertical stirrups of this nature. That means there are two-legged vertical stirrup. This is one leg and this is two leg. So let us suppose that we are using two-legged. This is represented as 2L vertical stirrups of 10 mm dia. So these two legs are involved in resisting the shear forces. So if the area of one 10 mm bar is given as pi by 4 into 10 square, the area of one 10 mm bar is almost equal to 78.5 mm square. Now since we have two legs of these stirrups resisting the shear forces, the value of ASV is given as 2 times 78.5, and this is equal to 157 mm square. We have the value of B. We calculated the value of ASB. Now let us find SV. SV is given as 0.87 Fy ASV upon 0.4 into B. That is 0.87 into the grade of steel we are using is 415. ASV is 157 over 0.4 into the value of B is 350. If you do this calculation, you will get the value of SV as almost equal to 405 mm. Now let us check for this spacing. We know that when we are using vertical stirrups, the spacing of the stirrups should be lesser than the less of these two values, 0.75 D and 300 mm. Now we have another thing to compare also here, the value of SV that we got from formula, that is 405 mm. So from these three factors, let us first calculate 0.75 D. It will be 0.75 into 550, and this comes out to be almost equal to 412.5 mm. Other two values we have 300 mm and 405 mm. So among these three values, we have to look at the least value, that is 300 mm. So our spacing of the stirrup should not be greater than 300 mm. So our final answer will be, we are using two-legged 10 mm dia stirrups at 300 mm center to center spacing. So this is our answer. So this is the final answer we have designed for the shear reinforcement for the given data. So from our next lecture, we will start with the design for torsion, and then we will have a tutorial class where we will look at the design for combined shear and torsion also. So we'll meet again soon in our next lecture. Till then, stay safe and thank you.